We live. We live. We live. We live. We live. We live. 5 minutes late, but that's okay. What's going on, guys? I am the cheapest wrestler in the world, Matt Rivera. Good to see you guys once again. For live stream, I believe this is 44. Let's see who's in the building. Who is in the building? We had a little 5-minute delay, but we are back in business here. Oh my goodness, my computer's all sorts of crazy right now. Who do we have here? Let's see. Let's see who's here. We have Hawk's in the building. What's going on, Hawk? Good to see you. Who else do we have? Marco Polo's in the house. SKM's in the building. Norman, what's going on? What's going on? Hello, everybody. Right now, there's this pop-up that's kind of blocking a little bit of my live scrolling, so it's a little hard to see. So I have to wait a couple of extra seconds before I see all your names. Marco Polo, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Norman, I will absolutely not. These Funko Pops are not a toy. That's an early life lesson that he'll have to know. The Funko Pops are not a toy. Thank you, guys. Yes, Sugar Mama had the baby. I know, it's crazy, right? I'm a father now. You are the father. I need like a little Maury thing to pop up. But Tino's in the house. What's going on? Kensington's in the house. Factor Avion. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. Luke, what's going on? Doing well. Doing well. It's good to see you guys here. Like I said, there's like this weird little thing going on where I might be kind of delayed answering what you guys say in the live chat, but I will absolutely get to it. It's there's just like this weird little pop-up that's blocking the bottom portion, so I can't see the newest ones until someone else says something. It's very annoying, actually. Yeah, I've been great. Fatherhood, you know, baby was born like about a week ago, actually. And Sugar Mama, we were just like, let's take some time, process this. Whew. It's a crazy life moment, you know. First baby, and it's wild. It's wild. It is such a crazy, surreal feeling, but a good one. A good one. Who else do we have here? How do you feel about Gun Club turning heel? I wasn't expecting it. Neither was I. I'll be honest. I have to be real with you guys. I haven't watched live wrestling much recently at all, so I'm a little behind. But I didn't expect it, but I wasn't surprised at the same time. I was just like, oh, okay, all right. Let me know if the sound is good. I didn't get time to test the microphone, so let me know if it needs to be louder or if I should lower the volume. Obviously, I speak very loud as a person, but just let a brother know. And if you haven't already, don't forget to Hulk smash that like button like it owes you money. And you know how we feel about that money on this channel. You know how we feel about it. All right, Norman says, what's the baby's name? So, much like Sugar Mama, I try to, keep some confidentiality. I don't want to, throw it all out there. So, the baby's name is Nicholas Pennywise Rivera. Nicholas Pennywise Rivera. That's the baby's name. That's the baby's name. I thought about on this channel just having him be named Baby, whenever I refer to him, which might be the case because Nicholas Pennywise Rivera is a very long name. Aiden says, if you're a father, are you going to be cheap? So here's the thing. With myself, yes. With myself, always. But even when I started this channel, I always said one thing that's really, really important is I don't want to impose my lifestyle on other people. For example, if I had a friend come over, I wasn't going to be like, hey, man, here's some expired food for you. No, I'm not going to do that to someone else. I might feel like it's okay to eat something past the expiration date just because I don't want to waste the food, but I wouldn't impose my will on anybody. And I'm not going to impose my will on Sugar Mama or our baby. Hope that answers that question. SKM said, honestly, I thought I was wrong when I guessed Sugar Mama had the baby in that YouTube post when you said you had big news. No, you were right, SKM. I saw your post, and I was just like, ooh, he's got it. I'm not going to say anything yet, but he's got it. Factor Avion says, since hospitals are expensive, how did you manage... Oh, That's a good question, Factor Avion. That's a really good question. So we haven't even gotten the bill yet, but I'm nervous to see it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when I get that bill. But there was a couple of things that were like, oh, can we do this? I'm like, no, it's not necessary. You're just trying to get more money out of us. You know, they wanted us to stay 4 days. We didn't need to stay 4 days. We stayed 2. You know, so things like that. I'm like, nah, you're trying to get us to spend a little extra money, and I'm not about that life, as you guys know. Merc Sniper says, is Pennywise really his name? Nicholas Pennywise Rivera. Black Wrestle Blood, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, this is live stream number 44. I don't usually do live streams on a Saturday or a Sunday. I usually don't do it on the weekends, but it's a special occasion. It's a special occasion. I am the father, said Maury. And it's really exciting. Thank you guys for celebrating with me. It's crazy. It's crazy. That house in Canada. Nickel penny, I get it. Yeah. Christian Reeve, what's going on, brother? Congratulations, Daddy Cheap. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Thank you guys so much for being able to celebrate this with me. You know, it's cool being able to celebrate with the cheap wrestler community on YouTube. You know how we get down. You know how we do things. You know? And so it's cool to be able to do it with my YouTube familia. Yeah. Bat Gabriel says, hey, Matt, I got a question for you. What was the biggest amount of money you spent as a cheapskate? Ooh. The biggest amount of money. I mean, this place costs money. You know, I would say a mortgage costs money. The studio definitely costs some money. You know, the cool thing about the studio was whatever was put into it, I was able to actually, like, whatever I got for people recording here who wanted a music video filmed, Photoshop work done, I was able to kind of put back into the studio. So it kind of, I guess, feeds itself, that sort of deal, you know, pays for itself. Hitman's in the house. What's going on, Hitman? Good to see you. Good to see you. Factor Avion says, that sucks. I have free health care where I'm from. So, I mean, we have, you know, Sugar Mama's got good benefits and whatnot, but can't say it's free for the hospital. Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice. Tell You Know's in the house. Says, happy birthday. Well, not my birthday, but, you know, Nicholas Pennywise, his birthday, I guess, you know, it was about a week ago. Christian Reeve says, hey, bro, do you reckon Big E is getting a real shot, or is he just the temp champ? All right, so thank you guys so much for the love for Nicholas Pennywise Rivera. I appreciate it. And like I said, I might just call him Baby, or The Baby for short, because Nicholas Pennywise Rivera is a very long name. So, but yeah, let's move on to a different topic right here. I appreciate all the love, so thank you. Let's talk about Big E. Big E recently cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Lashley and took the WWE Championship. Now, Christian Reeve asks, do I think it's a real shot, or is it just a temp champ? I'm going to say a temp champ. Now, that might upset some people, and I'm not saying Big E doesn't have the potential to be a legit champion, but I have a feeling he'll lose it as we get closer to WrestleMania. And to me, a real champion is someone that they want you to go into a WrestleMania program in the title picture. And I think he'll be removed from the title picture as the WrestleMania season commences. So I'm going to say a temp champ. To me, that's the definition. Like, you know, you have your Roman Reigns and your Brock Lesnar's and your Drew McIntyre's and, you know, whoever else, your Lashley's, where they want you to either be in the title picture or be the champion on the road to WrestleMania between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And I have a feeling Big E will lose that title either before then or very early on in that road to WrestleMania, which to me says that they're not going to really bank on him, no pun intended, to be a guy to carry the company. And that sucks. But I think they have an interesting story here. So let's talk about Big E. I really do think they have an interesting story because they have an opportunity here to be like, all right, Kofi's won the title. Big E's won the title. Will Xavier Woods, will he end up winning the WWE Championship one day? Will he end up winning the WWE Championship one day? What do you guys think? I'll give you my opinion in a little bit. We'll wait a little bit and we'll jump back into this topic. But to me, that's the story. That's the story that they should go with. Will all three of them eventually have held that championship? The top championship in the company. So let's see what you guys think. All right, SKM says, hopefully you don't get dad where I do. Okay, so let me tell you, SKM, I've been saying dad jokes since way before I've been a dad. So it might intensify. It might intensify. I may get down with the sickness and start telling dad jokes left and right, throwing out dad jokes. You get a dad joke. 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 Hitman says, cool middle name. Thank you. Thank you. What did Christian Reeves say here? You got to work being a dad into your gimmick. I know, right? That would for real. Merc Sniper says, because he's the baby. Gotta love him. There you go. Ooh, Aiden asked a good question here. What do I think about NXT 2.0? Good or bad? So, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard mixed reviews. But overall, I'm going to say, from what I have seen, little clips here and there, I'm going to say bad. I don't think it's a good change. There was something magical about NXT in Full Sail. There was something magical. It had this independent vibe and a crowd that was so passionate about pro wrestling. And I just don't know if it'll ever be the same. I don't know if it'll ever be the same. And I think it was good. I think it's something that was very different than Raw and SmackDown. And now I think we're going to see NXT start to share more similarities with Raw and SmackDown, you know? Factor Avion said, not gonna lie, when you post the pic of your baby, I thought it was a toy doll. Nope, not a toy doll. That's the real deal. Nicholas Pennywise. SKM says, I hope he keeps it. You know, Vince, it's either Roman, Brock, or nothing. Yeah, you're talking about Big E, yeah. And I see what you mean. And like, Goldberg might end up with the title, you know, who knows? It's tough to say. It's really tough to say. Hitman says, yeah, I think all three will win it one day, referring to the New Day. What do you guys think? Will Xavier one day win that championship? Marco Polo says, who's better, Miz or MJF? I feel like MJF is just an edgier version of The Miz. Like, if WWE wasn't as family friendly, The Miz would probably would, I almost feel like, out-promo MJF. And I feel like they would make a great tag team. Wouldn't they make a great tag team, MJF and The Miz? What's going on, Jason the Phantom? Welcome back. Good to see you. Good to see you here on the live stream. Live stream number 44. Don't forget to Hulk smash that like button like it owes you money. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Do you need a personal invitation? Here it is. I'm sending you one. Subscribe to the Cheap Wrestler channel. Let's go. Let's get to that 8K. Stop playing. Stop playing with me. Woods hasn't even won a singles title, says Factor Avion. That's a good point. That's a good point. Christian Reeves Shorts. Woods has potential, but he hasn't been presented as a top guy. Could definitely see it. He has charisma, but we'll see. Okay. So let's jump back into that. Let's talk Xavier Woods. I think, let's just say, I'm going to give a random number here. Let's say Xavier Woods has another 5 more years wrestling. Just a random number. It could be way longer, could be shorter, who knows. But let's just say he has 5 more years wrestling. I think the story they should eventually tell is that he's never done it. He's never won the big one. And it'll be almost like that underdog story. Will he be able to complete the trifecta with all of them winning the championship? And I almost feel like he should be kind of that Rey Mysterio character in that moment, but not in like a cheesy way. Just in a, almost like he has to do it. He has to do it. He has to solidify the New Day's legacy by winning that championship. Even if like he announces like, hey, this is my last year wrestling and, you know, it's now or never sort of deal. And he ends up winning it. You know, it doesn't even have to be like a WrestleMania moment. Maybe like a scramble match. He ends up, you know, outlasting with the championship and he wins it. Even if it's just one time. Even if he just wins the title one time. I think that's the route they should go with Xavier Woods. That's just my opinion though. I just think it tells a really good story. Yeah. All right. Hitman says, I think NXT 2.0 was good. I'll have to check it out. Before I give like a full opinion, I'll definitely have to check it out. Boogie Rocks Clips in the house. What's going on? What's going on? Hitman says the Full Sail deal was done. That's why they moved it. I know. I just wish they renewed that Full Sail deal, man. Or like, I don't know. You know, I don't know the stipulations of it, but I really loved it. I really did. Conservative, not Democrat. What's going on? Welcome to the live stream. Alan says Xavier Woods needs a push. And that's one thing for sure, too. I feel like if he's going to win that championship, I wish he has to have somewhat of a singles push first. Like, he's got to climb the ladder a little bit. You have to take him seriously as a competitor. And that's one thing I feel like they kind of slacked with Big E the last couple of months. I feel like he's kind of just been, like, floating. I wish he was in, like, a great rivalry. So you looked at him as, like, oh, Big E's the man right now. And then he cashed in. Now, I know it's supposed to be that with Aleister Black, Malachi Black. And that ended up fizzling. Well, we know what happened with that. But they should have found someone else. Someone else should have stepped in that role. And Big E should have had a great feud with them, came out on top of that feud, and then cashed in. That way, I would actually probably take him a little more seriously as a champion if that had happened. Okay, good question by Factor Avion. Why did you want a kid? Okay, great question, especially because kids cost money. And I'm going to give you the heartfelt answer right here, Factor Avion. All my life, I knew that one day I wanted to be a father, but, I pursue music, wrestling, acting, all these different things, and I didn't know when I wanted to have a child. It's something I could have put on the back burner forever. I could have ended up being 50, 60, 70 years old, and be like, oh, I never had a child of my own. Something I always wanted, and I'll say this. Somebody asked how it felt. Having your own child, and I'm going to be a little cheesy here for a second, so just bear with me. It's like, I was talking to my cousin Nate about it, and he has a daughter. It's like there's a section of your heart that you didn't know existed until you have a baby, and it just like opens up. It's the scariest, most wonderful, most challenging, surreal feeling. But it almost feels like if I never had a baby, my life would have never felt complete. It's almost like, oh, wow, things have come full circle now. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. SKM says, I call The Miz the most slept-on wrestler. He has been in the company for a long, long time. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He doesn't get the credit he deserves, but I think at the end of the day, he'll almost be like a John Cena. People will realize, wow, we should appreciate Miz more. Which kind of happened with John Cena. And I think deep down, people do appreciate The Miz. They just kind of don't outwardly say it. Christian Reeves says, sorry, dude, but MJF is miles better than The Miz, especially on the mic. And oh my God, there's no comparison in the ring. Uh-oh. Christian Reeves says MJF over Miz all day, every day. He can't even light a candle to him. So what do you guys think about that? Hold a candle. Light a candle. That's not how you say that. Conservative says Ryback or Lashley. I definitely got to go Lashley on this one, for sure. For sure, Lashley. Hitman. Full Sail was inside a school, and it probably got too much. Yeah, there's probably a lot of factors involved, especially during the pandemic. Who knows? School probably has all these regulations right now that maybe WWE and being in a college, it probably just didn't work well. I'm sure they had good reasons for ending the contract. It just sucks to see. That's all. It just sucks to see. Jason says, what do you think Brock Lesnar joined the Hurt Business and Bobby got the title back? You know what? So they already made Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for Crown Jewel, which as a pay-per-view, I don't really care for Crown Jewel personally. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I'm assuming Roman Reigns will end up leaving still the champion. I'm sure he'll end up leaving still having that championship, but I don't think we shouldn't rule out Lashley versus Lesnar in the near future. I still think there's a really good chance that we can see that happen within the next 6 months' time. Alright guys, if you're just joining this live stream, I am the cheapest wrestler in the world, Matt Rivera. I've said it once and I said it again 1,000 times over. Hulk smash that like button if you haven't already. Also, Super Chats make me dance. All proceeds for Super Chats go directly into this channel. They funnel back. They keep this operation alive. Super Chats also make me dance, so don't be shy. You know what to do, but I appreciate you guys joining me for this very special live stream. You are the father. That's this guy. All right. Factor Avion says, that section of my heart will never open because I will never have children because I like me time and money as well as my cartoons and shows. That's fair, Factor. That's fair. I hear that, man. I hear that, which was part of my struggle. I like my me time too. I do. Mr. Clean, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you here. Conservative says, any response back from WWE? No, unfortunately, they did their Las Vegas tryouts, and I did not get a call. So, WWE, at the moment, it's off the table. But that's okay. There's always more opportunities in life. That's okay. One door closes, another one opens. Christian Reeve Short says, thoughts on Brock Lesnar's Goro Mortal Kombat look? I like it. I dig it. It's different. It's a look that we've never seen from him before, and he looks kind of like a maniac. Like, he looks like a backwoods killer. That's the great thing about Brock Lesnar. I once was in a room with Mick Foley, who said the great thing about Brock Lesnar is he is that. Like, he's a scary dude. It's legit. Like, it's not like, oh, he's actually not that scary. Oh, he's not that threatening. No. I like what Pat McAfee said. He's like, he's the alpha male of our species, and if aliens were coming to invade and we had to send one human to fight them off, it would be Brock Lesnar. And I thought that was great, because that's how I feel about Lesnar. He's such a threat, you know, and you look at him as a legit threat, and when he has such a crazy look, like some high ponytail and a big beard, you're like, oh, this guy's a maniac. I love it. I love it. SKM says, Miz is as good as WWE wants him to be. So, SKM, my question for you is, do you think WWE holds back the Miz? Like he hasn't even tapped into his full potential? Because Christian Reeve, I know you disagree, but I really think if they plucked Miz and put him in AEW, we would see a much different Miz. I just think he plays by WWE's rules, and it's fine. I just don't see, I feel like there's a little piece of hidden potential in Miz, especially when it comes to being edgy, that we have just not seen yet. Let's see. When do you think Big E will lose his title? Okay, so we kind of talked about this a little bit, Mr. Clean. I think he will lose it way before WrestleMania. Maybe like 2 or 3 months before. It might even be before the Royal Rumble or at the Royal Rumble. I just don't think he's going to go into a WrestleMania program as the champion. It sucks to say, but that's my personal opinion. All right, Jason the Phantom says, "Where's your Lucky Fiend Funko Pop?" You know, it's over there. It's kind of out of arm's reach, but it's there. It's there, and yeah, it's crazy. We might not ever see the Fiend again, huh? That's crazy to think about. That I have the Funko Pop, but we may never see the Fiend again. It sucks. Let's see. Conservative says WWE are beta. Ooh. Do you feel AEW is the alpha? Or just WWE is not? Dude, I have a question. Since your old pal Caleb Conley is an Impact, why don't you contact him to see if he can get you a tryout? That's a good question, SKM. So Caleb and I only tagged once. Obviously, we lost that match. It didn't work out well. So we're not that close. You know, it was kind of a one night sort of deal. Like, hey, let's see if we can make this work. Let's see if we can beat a team together. And we didn't. We failed. So we never partnered back up again after that. So we are like too tight. We're not too tight. But I see where your head is at, and it's a good idea. It's not a bad idea. Factor says, Dean Ambrose came back to WWE, except he looks similar to Brock. Nah, I don't think so. Let me say this. I am not a huge Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley fan. I am not. I think he's, to me, at best. Christian Reeve says, thoughts on Nick Khan firing everyone in WWE? I'm very curious, Christian Reeve, what is the purpose is. I'm very curious as to what the purpose is. Because, like, some of those releases, I'm just like, what? Like, even like Braun Strowman. Now, again, I didn't even love Braun Strowman. But a guy that you put the title on, that you invested so much time into, you're just going to let go. That's crazy to me, you know? Let's see. Jason says, The Miz is Johnny Cage. I think we talk about casting. Obviously, they had the Mortal Kombat movie. I think Miz as Johnny Cage is decent. I just would hope that he can pull off some of those legit, like, karate moves, you know? Because I don't know, he might look ridiculous doing them. Is JCW still around? Do you mean Jersey Championship Wrestling, Jason? Is that what you're referring to? Kensington said, yo, bro, I did a kickflip down 3 stairs. That's pretty impressive. I couldn't do that to save my life, but I did love playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, especially the underground ones. Those were some of my favorite video games. Not that that's, relevant at all, but I thought the Tony Hawk franchise was pretty dope. Cheap wrestler sucks. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you joining the live stream. Alan says, leave this channel. No reason to hate. Just leave and never come back. Christian Reeves says, thoughts on, I'm going to say it says CM Punk's return. Now, okay, yeah, CM Punk's, if you're just joining the stream also, there's this, my computer's like glitched, and I can't see the most recent, what's the word I'm looking for here? Chats that pop up. So, it might take me a second after you guys say it. So far, CM Punk, he's doing alright. I think one thing that's really, really tough and people don't understand is WWE is like an entertainment media monster. So there's no one wrestler that's going to change the tide of WWE. If John Cena joined AEW, yeah, there'd be like a lot of hype. Like, oh my gosh, John Cena's in AEW, but eventually that'll fizzle out. You know, and I think the same thing's going to happen with CM Punk. So I was never like a huge CM Punk fan. I appreciated him. I liked him. But I was never like, oh my God, CM Punk. You know, so we'll see what happens long term. But so far, I think he's doing all right. I think it's good so far. Factor says, I bet WWE 2K30 roster will be like the desert. Yeah, they'll probably have 4 wrestlers to choose from. SKM says, Matt, can you do your thickest New York, New Jersey accent? You know, I don't know what I sound like in general, so I don't know. Like, do you guys think I have an accent? I know like a lot of times I project my voice and it has I guess like a unique sound to it, but I don't even know. Do I have like a New York accent? I'm curious. I don't know. Heels or baby faces? Oh, heels all day. Heels all day. Although common misconception is I don't like working as a babyface. I love being a babyface. I love both, honestly. They're just very different. But sometimes I actually prefer being a babyface, believe it or not, even though I'm used to being a heel. If you don't remember me, I'm Johnny Lopez. Oh, okay. What's up, Johnny Lopez? Welcome back. All right. Oh, Juggalo Championship Wrestling. I don't know. I don't know if that's still a thing. I have no idea. But let's talk about one of the other subjects, a hot topic of controversy. Woo! Dark Side of the Ring. Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but if you have, let me know in the chat. Have you guys heard about what's going on with Dark Side of the Ring? Yee. It's not looking good for a couple of wrestlers who were talked about on a recent episode. I believe it was called The Plane Ride from Hell. I haven't even seen the whole episode, but it's caught a lot of slack. Woo! Bad. Bad, 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 bad. My goodness. If you guys haven't heard, they told a story about Ric Flair. And, like, do I even want to go into this topic? I know I said it was a topic to talk about, but it's a tough one. We know Ric Flair has the reputation, being a ladies' man, partying, you know, having a crazy lifestyle. But there's this old story that came out many years ago. We're talking, you know, maybe 20 plus years ago. He had done something inappropriate, and Tommy Dreamer was interviewed about it, and he was just kind of like, you know, boys will be boys. He's just having fun. It wasn't anything, you know, threatening. But they caught a lot of slack. Let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about. If not, maybe we'll talk about something different. But this seems to be a hot topic in wrestling right now, so I thought I'd bring it up. Minecraft King's in the house. What's going on? Thoughts on wrestlers like Marco Stunt beating larger wrestlers? Christian Reeve, I don't love it. But, I mean, it just has to be done in the right way. You know, like, if he was able to do something real quick and get like a crazy roll up, okay. But just beating him like, you know, outpowering him or something ridiculous, I'm not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of that. Matt, go back to WWF WrestleMania Arcade, Bam Bam and Doink the Clown. I haven't played that game in forever. Wow. I have not played that game in so long. So long. If you could choose one wrestler to come back, dead or alive, who would it be? Eddie Guerrero. I agree. Eddie Guerrero. I think Eddie Guerrero was the perfect combination of charisma, character, gimmick, wrestling maneuvers, look. I think he was a total package wrestler, and it really stood out, especially being a minority, being Hispanic, because you have a lot of total package wrestlers of different ethnicities, but he was, being a Mexican wrestler, I just feel like it was great. It was different. It was very, very different, and you even see it today. How many wrestlers emulate Eddie Guerrero? To me, more than any wrestler who's passed away, people are still doing frog splashes and still doing a little shimmy up on the turnbuckle, still doing the three amigos. I feel like he's still so emulated in wrestling. People still do the passing someone the chair and pretending they're knocked out, and Eddie is referenced so often in professional wrestling, even so long after he's passed. People don't even think about that. Like, I don't know. Like, you don't hear people talking about, I don't know, Bam Bam Bigelow as much. They're not like, oh my gosh, he's pulling off that Bam Bam Bigelow type move. You know what I mean? But Eddie Guerrero, man, always emulated. Like, always. Let's see here. What else? Hitman says, so how have I been? I've been good. I've been good. Tired. Definitely tired. Nicholas Pennywise has kept me up. But, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. So, it's good stuff, Let's see here. What else do we have here? What's going on, guys? So, yeah, I guess nobody's really commented on the dark side of the ring, so we'll skip that topic. We'll go right over that topic. We'll just move on to the next one. What else did I have to talk about today? We talked about Baby. We talked about Big E. Dark side of the ring, we don't have to talk about it. We can skip right over that one. But I had another topic. What else? What's in the screenshot, guys? Remind me. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. No, I'm not getting old, but I'm tired. I got a tired brain, man. Taking care of Baby is just, it's got me crazy. It's got me crazy. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where is... Oh, I guess that's it. I didn't have another topic to talk about. So yeah, let's just roll with it. Let's just roll with it. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I see a lot of people arguing. Honestly, if somebody's trolling or whatever, just ignore them. Just ignore them. I don't care about that. One thing that I will talk about, I'm going to do a video review. There's been a lot of screenshots and a lot of clips of the new AEW game coming out. And I'll talk a little bit about that now. I am going to do a video about it. I'm a little behind, but I'm going to try to collect as much information as I can, share as much videos. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the AEW video game. More so than the new WWE game, because Ukes is involved, and they were involved in some of my favorite WWE games, including Here Comes the Pain. When I look at the clips, I'm like, man, this looks a lot like Here Comes the Pain, and I'm really excited for it. So I hope the AEW game is good, because I want to play it. What do you guys think? Have you seen the clips? I want to play it so bad. I want to play it so bad. What do you guys think? So I used to be a big gamer. I used to love video games growing up. And then in my 20s, I just kind of stopped playing. Just became really busy. I started doing, wrestling, acting, music. I started getting into so many different things. There was just no time for video games. But now I'm starting to, enjoy a video game here and there every once in a while. Like, I played a couple of games on this channel, the Crash Bandicoot game. I played WWE Battlegrounds, which was okay. It wasn't what I was hoping it'd be, Jason says, was the Majin tattoo your first? Yes, it was actually. It was my first tattoo. Yeah, it was. How old was I? 18? Yeah, I was 18 years old when I got this one. Yeah, SKM says, I didn't know you were a gamer, but yeah, I used to be a huge gamer. I was kind of like a gamer nerd. I love RPGs, your Final Fantasies, Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger, Star Ocean, Legends of Dragoon. I don't even know if you guys remember these games, but Dragon Quest. I'm all about the RPGs. All about that RPG life. I wish this little text box would just go away from my screen. AEW game is going to be better than WWE 2K, says Alan. To me, it looked like WWE is going to have to put in some work because the AEW game to me looks great. AEW game is going to be good because lots of WWE people went there. That's true. Because I know they already included CM Punk in the game. So that means you're going to have your CM Punks, your Stings, your Big Shows, your Mark Henrys, your Christians, your Chris Jerichos, your John Moxley. You know, you're going to have all these people who've jumped ship. So, yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to play. I like WWE. And I was going to save this for the video, but I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of the conversation. My issue with WWE, since it's really tapped into the 2K franchise, it's become so realistic that it's boring. It's like there's no fun to the game anymore. Like, no, I want to throw someone off the SmackDown fist. I want to jump out of a helicopter and hit a frog splash. Like, I'm playing a game. It doesn't have to be so realistic that it's almost boring, you know? Like, you need it to be a little larger than life. So I wish that they would go back to doing that and really tap into those things. Because if they don't, I feel like it's kind of lacking something. You know what I mean? What else do we think here? What else do you guys have? And I see one comment that I just can't look at from SKM because this stupid text box. I'm going to take that text box, choke it. But while we're waiting, if you haven't already, don't forget to Hulk smash that like button. This is live stream number 44. I think for live stream number 50, I'm not sure if it'll be number 50, but I think for number 50, we're going to do something special. We're going to do something special. So if you have any ideas, let me know. What I think we should do is I will do the whole stream in character. I will be my wrestling persona. I'll cut promos. We'll have fun. And I'll just be a real jerk. But it'll be a good time because it'll all be in character. So I will come here and not say, hey guys, I'm going to be in character. Nope. As soon as the live stream starts, face is on. And that's it. Completely in character. So I only see part of SKM's comments as, hey, Matt is the number one attraction. And that's all I see. Because of the stupid text box that won't go away. Go away. I want to press some things and see if it'll... Oh, well, I think I fixed it. Yes, I fixed it. Is the number one attraction gimmick gone forever? That's a really good question, SKM. I wouldn't say... No, I wouldn't say that for sure. But one thing that I really wanted to do, I know people love the persona of the number one attraction. They love the attitude, the edginess, the kind of arrogance of the number one attraction. So I still took those personality traits and put it into the cheap wrestler gimmick. You know, like I just kind of took the same personality and put it into the cheap wrestler. So I hope when I cut a promo that you guys see that, oh, he's still the same guy. He's just cheap. Kane attempt the last ride. Oh, I remember when he used to hit that power bomb. That was like the last ride. Like he would hit that big power bomb while Undertaker did the last ride. That was kind of when the WCW Invasion storyline was big. And they were like the tag team champs and whatnot. Yeah, but if you jump off a helicopter into a frog splash, most people don't like it. Most 2K fans like realistic. I don't like realistic. And that's the thing, Alan. I think WWE shouldn't have went with 2K. I think they should go a different route. Because 2K likes to just kind of have things like boring. Like they like I hate to say boring, but you know, you look at their other video games, their NBA, it's just kind of straightforward. It's like, hey, here's basketball. It's a basketball game. With wrestling, I think you want more than that. You know what I mean? And I just don't think they tap into that. Like, nah, I want to jump on the subway and end up, you know, in Times Square and run over someone with a taxi and then try to pin them. You know what I mean? Like I want to be on top of a production truck and choke slam somebody on top of a car. You know, like that's what I want to do when I play a video game. I want to stack two tables, light them on fire, and do a swanton bomb off of a ladder that is in the audience. You know what I mean? Like, these are things I want to do when I play a video game. What's going on? Sammy B is in the house. Frugal Faction, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. How is Logan and Mom? They're both good. They're both good. Living their best lives, and they're doing excellent. Evan says, do you think I would beat you in a fight? No. No, I don't, Evan. Got any other questions for me like that? I was changing my phone and playing WWE 2K20, which we were just talking about. Alan says, the closest thing that's like jumping off a helicopter is jumping off a tall ladder and jumping on someone. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay. Yeah, which is fun. It's fun to do that. But out of a video game, you just want more. For me, out of a wrestling game, I want more. I want it to be a little unrealistic. Those unrealistic touches make it extra fun to play. So I really hope AEW does those things. Yeah, like, give me an exploding barbed wire death match. I want to play that. I want to play that in AEW. They better have it, Alan says the closest thing that's like, oh, I read that already. Doi? Jason the Phantom says, how about an elbow drop from on top of the WWE training center? Yeah, that'd be dope. Or forget the training center. How about an elbow drop from on top of WWE headquarters? That would be crazy, right? That'd be nuts. I mean, that's probably a little too ridiculous. But if you land it right, it won't hurt, right? SKM says, how did we all forget about Daz? How did we all forget about Daz? We didn't forget about Daz. Actually, I just went on Instagram a second ago and commented on his newest picture. I was like, he commented a little selfie, and I was like, oh, only a face a mother could love, right? Jason the Phantom says, oh, what? Yes. AEW is going to be like SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain. Sammy, I hope, Sammy. I would love to play that. I really hope so. I really, really hope so. It looks like it. Like, when you look at the style, here's the other thing too. Like, it has that almost like that comic book. Like the wrestlers look really glossy, and they don't look perfect. You know what I mean? They don't look like perfect humans, but that's okay because it's a video game, and that's one thing that I think the 2K franchise lacks. They lack that understanding that it doesn't have to be like you're playing it on TV. It has to be more than that. It has to be better than that. It has to be bigger and larger and more fun. Like, you want to do these crazy things. You want to light a 2x4 on fire and, attack the referee. Like, you want to do these fun things that you couldn't even do on TV, WWE 2K looks like them, but cartoonized. Yeah, and I mean, like, it looks like them. Sure, but I don't know. I just don't think it's just not good enough. I think that's, at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to say. It's just not good enough. I usually play NBA 2K. I'm a big fan of basketball, Alan, and I think NBA 2K is like perfectly fine because it doesn't have to be larger than life. It doesn't have to be crazy or anything like that. I got WWE 2K20 brand new, $40 on Amazon. Yeah, I think right now it's actually going for really cheap. I think it was like $20 on PlayStation Network maybe like 6 months ago. And I after watching all the glitches and my good friend who bought it said it was pretty disappointing, I'm like, all right, well, that doesn't make it tempting for me to get, like, all right. Cool, I guess. Matt, since 9/11 was a week ago, I want to see some things from your perspective, get your opinions, and how, oh, wow, SKM, that's a deep question, SKM. Okay, yeah, well, yeah, we could talk about that. We could talk about 9/11. I didn't expect that question, because that's a tough one. So, when 9/11 happened, I was 12, 13. I was young. I was in school. And I remember I lived in Manhattan at the time. So not only was a New Yorker, but I literally lived in Manhattan. And I remember the sky all of a sudden getting very black with the smoke, I remember the sky getting very black, full of smoke. And I was the class clown as a kid, so I just was like, oh my gosh, someone's house is on fire. This is crazy. Obviously I didn't know. And the next thing I remember, I saw teachers like crying in the hallway, and I'm just like, what is happening? what is happening right now? And one teacher had asked my teacher to come out into the hallway so they could talk. And we're all, and as the students, we're a little like, oh, this is weird. What's going on? And my dad, yes, a lot of people think I don't have a dad. I do have a dad. He's a very good dad. Came to pick me up shortly after. He was like, and I'm like, why are you picking me up early? What's happening? And he's like, listen, we'll talk about it when we get outside. I'm like, okay. So we get outside, and he's like, we need to go pick up your brother right now from school. I'm like, what's going on? And he tells me that, our country is being attacked by terrorists, and they just attacked the Twin Towers. As a kid, and like, this is what a lot of people don't realize, not only as a kid, but when you're in Manhattan at that time, like, a lot of people are like, oh wow, that's so crazy, they attacked the Twin Towers. But what people don't realize is when you're there in Manhattan, you don't know that that's all they plan to do in Manhattan. So the whole day I'm thinking, oh, they're coming to kill us, like all of us, like they're taking out all of us. It wasn't just one isolated attack, like maybe they're going to come bomb us next. Maybe they're going to keep sending planes and going into other buildings, maybe into Times Square, maybe into the Empire State Building, maybe into wherever, so it was scary. It was scary and sad. People like walking home and walking through the streets, like everyone was just like bawling, screaming, crying. And yeah, like I feel like if you weren't in Manhattan at the time, you don't get the full grasp of that. Like right now I live about 40 minutes north of Manhattan, and people who went to school up here are like, wow, that was crazy what happened in Manhattan. I'm like, yeah, but when you were in Manhattan, it was different. You felt like your life was being threatened. And I feel like people miss that feeling. And I mean, for a lot of people, their lives were threatened, obviously. I don't mean to make light of that. But it was a very surreal feeling, And the weeks prior, things were so crazy after that. As a country and as a city, there was a lot of unity. There was a lot of people who really banded together and showed support. But then there was also like craziness. Like in order to go home after that, I had to show ID just to get into my neighborhood, because they had to make sure people weren't terrorists, that they actually belonged where they said they belonged and lived where they said they lived. So there was times where my friend didn't have an ID, so he had to take the long way home. The cops would literally tell him, 12, 13 years old, hey, you can't come in this way. And he'd have to walk like so many extra blocks just to go home. At the time that it happened, like for the next couple of weeks, there were a lot of fighter jets just like circling the area. And as a kid, for me, whenever I heard that, because you just hear these big, jets in the sky that were very loud and very low flying around. But in my head, I'm like, I don't know that it's not a terrorist. I don't know that it's not a second wave of this happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was just a crazy time. So I hope that answers your question. I know I talked a long time about that, but it's something I feel very passionately about. If you follow me on Instagram, you see I have the tattoo with the Twin Towers in it. Yeah, it's definitely one of those moments where it makes you not take life for granted, and it's just a terrible thing. So rest in peace to everyone who lost their lives in the 9/11 attacks. So sorry to be so such a downer. Well, let's see what else you got here. You know how they made WWE video game like Guilty Gear and Saturday Night Slam? Well, is that true? Is that true? Alan says, rest in peace. Yep, Jason says, sucks I can't wrestle in real life, but I'm on disabled on Social Security. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. I hope all is well overall. My life was hard during 9/11. I'm sorry, but if that question was a little too much. No, it wasn't too much. It's I'm glad we could talk about things like that, Like, it's a change of pace. It's definitely different from the things we talk about. We usually keep things pretty light on this channel, but Yeah, nothing wrong with getting to the nitty gritty. I don't mind talking about things like that. I feel like I'm very connected to you guys in this YouTube community. So just a funny little thing. And I don't think most people understand this feeling. Video Game Fight Club, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Like Adam Cole, one reason why he ended up leaving WWE is because he felt so connected to his Twitch community. And I get that because I feel like I'm connected to you guys. And you know, I may not have seen the majority of you guys in person ever. Most of you never, maybe just a couple. But it's, you know, it's a different type of relationship, and I'm glad that we can share this. I don't care about talking about the hard stuff. You know, there's times where you guys have talked to me about some really personal life issues. I don't mind talking about it, you know? I really don't. I feel like this is why we're a community. Alan says, "Do you like how WWE wrestling toys are made and how they look? Much better now than they used to be." Alan, if you don't believe me, man, look at a wrestling action figure from like 15 years ago. They never looked like them. I was always like, who do they make this look like? They're hideous. Hideous. But they make them so much better now than when I was a kid. Man. Give you a braid. Oh, you're saying if I had a braid, I'd look like Damian Priest? You know what drives me crazy about Damian Priest? And if you haven't noticed this, you're going to now. He has terrible teeth, man. No, I'm sorry, Damian Priest. I don't mean to be a jerk, but his teeth are like crazy looking. Like they like the teeth here are going behind his front teeth. It's wild. Like I look at his teeth sometimes, I'm just like, whoa, is that for real? Those are your real teeth. It's wild. You know what I didn't do? I forgot to share this. on Facebook. What's wrong with me? How did I forget to share this on Facebook? I'm a loco. I'm crazy. Why did I do this? I know it's kind of late now, but, you know, whatever. He needs tooth surgery. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Whatever floats his boat or finds his lost remote. But, yeah, man, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Come on, what about Snitsky's teeth? So Snitsky's teeth, they were stained, but, like, that's not how his teeth actually look. You know what I mean? That's not how his teeth actually look. But, yeah, for Damian Priest, those are his chompers. Those are his chompers. Those are his real teeth. Let's see. Join us live for the last 5 minutes. Totally forgot to put it on Facebook. Join us now. I am the Father. All right. Matt, bring back the beard. The beard is fresh, but the stubble is a good look too. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes, for me, when I grow a beard, every once in a while, I feel like I have to start from scratch. Like, I like the fresh face. Sometimes the beard, I'm like, oh man, I just feel like so dirty. I just want to clean my face, you know? Matt, I went to New York recently and I ate Joe's Pizza. It's the best. Have you tried it? Is Joe's in Manhattan? Let me know. Is it in Manhattan? Sammy B says he makes enough to get his teeth fixed. I'll say this, Sammy, it might be too late to get his teeth fixed. Like the way they are, it looks like they haven't had enough space to grow, and they've been growing into each other for a long time. So they might not be fixable at this point. They might not be. Joe's is in Manhattan. I don't think I've ever had Joe's Pizza, so I'll have to check it out, SCAM. I'll have to take a look into that. We have about 5 minutes. I started this live stream late, and we have about 5 minutes left before we start wrapping things up. Is there anything specific that you guys want to talk about? If you haven't already, don't forget to Hulk smash that like button like it owes you money. Yeah. Super chats. I do appreciate a super chat. Super chats make me dance. And, yeah. They keep this channel alive and kicking. Better now. I'm awake now. I can see everything in front of me. Alan says, how old are you, Matt? I'm guessing 28. I'm just going to say thanks, man. I appreciate that. Can I leave it at that? Jason says, Sami Zayn and Shia LaBeouf are identically twins. You think so? I don't think they look that much alike. I think Sami Zayn looks more like the Prince. Is it Prince William? I always forget their names. Jason says, I'm 30. Jason says, I'm 30. Dirty 30. Dirty 30. After this, I'm going to go hang out with Nicholas Pennywise Rivera. See how he's doing. Make sure Sugar Mama's good. You know, it's a crazy life. Life is crazy now. But this week, let's talk about what's coming on, what's happening this week on the channel. So one thing I am working on, and I know it's been so long, people are like, when is the next extreme reaction happening? And I've been slacking on my macking, but that is coming very, very soon. I promise. I promise. There will be a new extreme reaction coming this month. I'm hoping that it'll be next week. How to become a pro wrestler too. I noticed there weren't a lot of people that were on top of that. Like I feel like a lot of people would be excited for that episode. If you haven't seen it, it's gotten mixed reviews. So what it is, it's all about joining wrestling schools. A lot of people ask me, oh, what should I look for when I join a wrestling school? So that is a really good video to check out if you haven't checked it out already. Part 3 is going to be me coming back to the wrestling ring for training, and I'm going to talk about my training progress. I'm going to be talking about what it takes when you do train, how people usually start off training, what they do. So it's going to be all about in-ring training. So that's episode 3. Episode 4 is going to be all about character, gimmick, and promos. Character, gimmick, and promos. Episode 5 is going to be about booking shows. How do you get on shows? How do people hire you as a wrestler? And episode 6 is the season finale of the series. It's going to basically wrap up everything. Where did I get up to? What did I achieve in this amount of time? And where do things go from here? So that's what it looks like. That's the outline of how to become a pro wrestler. It's a 6-part series. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Episode 2 just came out a few days ago. Episode 3 will be within the next 2 weeks. Not too long from now. But yeah, it's a series that I really enjoy. I hope you guys like it. It's been a crazy time getting back into the ring. Let's see, what do we have here? SKM says, what do you think Vince... do I think Vince is greedy and doesn't care what we think? I don't think that's the case. And I also think sometimes Vince McMahon gets a lot of slack because people think that he's the only one who makes decisions. And I don't think that's the case. I don't think he's the only one to make decisions. I think sometimes other people make choices and he depends on them to make those choices. And we might not like what those people, want to do either. So I think Vince gets a lot of heat when he doesn't necessarily need to. Let's see. Alan says, is it too late for my uncle to wrestle? He's 38. So I think in today's day and age, it's not too late. It's not too late. I don't think it's really ever too late, especially if you're talented, if you have skill. But because there's so many wrestling promotions out there. There's so many opportunities. It might not be WWE. It might be too late for I'll say it probably is too late for WWE. But is it too late for AEW or Impact or all these other promotions that are out there, Ring of Honor, NWA? No, I don't think so, especially if he gets it really quick, Joshua, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream. We're just about wrapping things up. We have a couple of minutes here before we call this one a day, but I really appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you for all the congratulations on, Nicholas Pennywise coming into this world. He's a beautiful boy. It's my son. And I will train him to be the greatest wrestler of all time. Mr. Clean's back. Mr. Clean, we're just wrapping things up here. We have less than a minute to go. Jason says, Kurt Angle's words still haunt me. Can you buy my laces for $1? So I'll say this really quick. The issue with the boots weren't the laces. I said it earlier in the episode. I was like, my lace holes were all torn apart. So laces wouldn't have helped. What I needed were new boots, which are like $200. And I should have just swallowed it and got the boots. But at the time, I was just too cheap and too, thick-headed to do it. But, life goes on, right? All right, so, thank you, Emmett. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Clean says, how have the past few hours of fatherhood been for you? They've been amazing. And right now, it's that time to wrap up the stream, and I'm going to go spend some more time with my son. And new videos coming out this week. So just keep your eyes open. I will have a new video, at least one, maybe 2 uploads this week, but definitely one. So keep your eyes peeled. I hope to talk to you guys during that premiere. And I will see you all real soon. I am the cheapest wrestler in the world, Matt Rivera. It's time to make change, baby. Let's go. Peace. That's right. #1 dad, baby. Don't you forget.